The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. Yeah. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host.
Hey, grand rising to you billionaires. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street, our Money and Power show, as we talk about and discuss more topics that have to do with money and power. That's right. It'll be money will be economics, power will be politics, cash rules, cash flow, cash rules, everything around. This is going to be our time here to just kind of get to know about what's going on. Today's episode, we will be focusing a little bit on what's going on in the market. We'll take a look at our political piece from Dr. Claude Anderson. We will get into the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, finishing up the fourth cure. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. We'll try to get all that done in an hour. So I don't know. We're going to be moving at the speed of light today here on Financial Friday. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy paper. Something like that. Something like that. Grand rising to you, man. The Black Billionaires Club, the book you can find by simply going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. You'll find that link in the description above or below. Today's episode is being brought to you by ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. Here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, you can find all types of wonderful things to add to your household. You know that you'll be shopping Black, buying Black, and participating in the Buy Black movement and all that good stuff. We still do have masks available for your protection as well. But go ahead and check us out by simply going to the website www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. And just understand that once you shop Black, beautiful people here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, and once you shop Black, you never go back. You never go back, man. And every dollar that you spend with us, that we return value for value, that there's an exchange, that you get something of value for the dollars that you spend, it helps us to accumulate the dollars to then go build the Black Mart, the Afro Mart, whatever it is we need to build to bring to our community so we can stop talking about we ain't got nothing other than Walmart. Yes, we do. We don't have anything other than Amazon. Yes, we do. We just have to choose to support those that are actually building out those things. And that's one thing that we're doing over here at ERGJ Black Bazaar. All right, beautiful people, man. Let's see who is here. The early bird gets the worm. Y'all know what it is, man. It's financial education for the nation. Hit the like button, the share button if you care. If you got friends and family that's always asking you for money, make sure that you tag them. Say, hey, here's a place you can learn how to get it, how to learn how to earn, learn how to manage, learn how to keep, learn how to multiply. That's right, man. They've learned how to multiply. Queen Tequila. That's right. He's joined us here this morning. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. King Thomas Freeman is in the house, man, out of Louisville, Kentucky. That's right, man. Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. Thanks so much for joining us. Home of Muhammad Ali. Thanks for what I'm talking about, man. Miss Queen Fatima. Yeah, Queen Fatima. I mean, both your names. I mean, my goodness, that's goddess. That's like a double goddess. Fatima and Nefertiti. How you get both of them names? Okay, now we got a real goddess in the house today. We'll pay homage to her. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. King Loki Slick Saucy out of Charleston, South Kakalaki, man. Thanks so much for joining us today. Queen Phyllis is in the house, man, here on the Money and Power Show. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Beautiful, 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 beautiful people. Again, free financial education. We can't say that no one's teaching it. What we can say is that maybe we're not looking for it, and therefore we don't find it, and we don't come to class. But we're going to have some fun today. We are going to laugh a little bit today. We're going to learn today. That's right. We're going to learn today. Let's start, man, let's start with our political piece, man. We're going to finish up with what we were discussing yesterday, and it's so apropos for such a time as this. And I just find very interesting how we're led to certain places like this at certain times, and it's like it's all kind of like everything is working together, right? Everything's working together. This is a Black History Reader. This is our power piece or our political piece for today. It's part 2 of what we started to discuss yesterday from Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson is one of the great minds of our community. He continues to put out literature as part of his legacy to leave behind for people to be able to find at any point in time. That's why people write books. Say, hey, even when I'm gone, you can still find this great information, this great knowledge, this great wisdom that you can apply to your life. And here in this book, it's 101 questions that you never thought to ask. 101 questions that you never thought to ask. And we were on, let's see here, we were on question, not 19, not 22. We was on question number 21. And the question was, does the United States Supreme Court have the constitutional power to overrule Congress and Black civil rights issues? Do they have the constitutional power to overturn or overrule Congress in Black civil rights issues? And so we read a little bit about yesterday about Dred Scott case and all that stuff. We'll catch up where we left off at yesterday and finish this thing up here today. So the sentiments of that decision which is the Dred Scott decision, that a Black man had no rights, a white man that has no rights, a white man is bound to respect, is infused in the culture. That's where we left off yesterday. It is on display today in many ways, including the numerous conflicts between law enforcement and the Black community, which is so apropos for today. But here on Money and Power Show, let's continue along in this section here. Let's read. So following the Civil War of the 1860s, a number of radical Republicans, the liberals of the day, attempted to reverse the Supreme Court's Dred Scott decision by enacting the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendments to the Constitution and passing civil rights laws specifically to aid and protect the newly freed Black slaves. On the floor of Congress, Senator Charles Sumner proclaimed slavery to be an economic issue and said there were only two things that Blacks could ever be in America. They could be slaves or they could be free. But they were released from slavery with nothing. Therefore, to be free, at a minimum, they had to have 40 acres and 40 acres of land, a mule, and $100. So that's where we get the 40 acres and a mule. The land, the mule, and the money were the essential tools necessary to make the economic transition from slavery to independent living. So when people are talking about reparations, they go back to this. Like, we were promised, or someone said, I don't even know if we were promised, but someone said, man, here's what, as we are freeing the hundreds of thousands of Black folk from slavery, in order for them to make it in this land, they're going to need something. So the land, the mule, and the money were the essential tools necessary to make an economic transition from slavery to independent living. Without all three, the slaves would always be in some form of enslavement. The radical Republicans enacted the 1865 and 1866 civil rights law to assure Blacks a minimum level of economic assets. President Andrew Johnson, who replaced Abraham Lincoln after his death, vetoed both bills, but was overridden by Congress on the 1866 civil rights law. To ensure Black civil rights, their ability to be economically competitive with whites, and to protect Blacks from being re-enslaved, radical Republicans enacted the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. The 14th Amendment confirmed the citizenship of former Black slaves and forbid anyone to deprive them of their rights to be treated in a manner that whites would be treated under similar circumstances. This is the equal protection and due process provision that was specifically enacted for newly freed Black people. These provisions were not designed to benefit immigrants or fabricated minority classes. Whites and other groups were granted their rights under the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution. The Supreme Court, as the self-appointed guardian of the racial status quo and champion of white superiority, went on the offense and crossed over the line. Before the Civil War, the Constitution gave no rights to Blacks, and the court did not have authority to overrule Congress in issues related to the Black race. However, in the mid-1860s, following the Civil War, radical Republicans had sufficient political power to enact 3 constitutional amendments and civil rights laws to give Black rights and to reverse the Dred Scott decision. At this point, radical Republicans were too strong for the Supreme Court. However, a decade later, in the mid-1870s, the court assumed authority and ended the Reconstruction period by ruling that all the civil rights laws that Congress enacted for blacks in the 1870s were unconstitutional. The United States Supreme Court ended Civil War Reconstruction and laid the foundation for the re-enslavement of black people. With the southern states needing blacks in peonage and semi-slavery, and the North not wanting black ex-slaves to migrate into the North, there was no resistance to the court fully establishing itself as a co-equal branch of the federal government, along with the executive and congressional branches. The Supreme Court continued expanding and exercising powers in race matters in the first Reconstruction period of the 1870s. The court's members have been guardians of white superiority, appointed to maintain the social and economic privileges of the white race. Supreme Court jurists for the first 100 years were slaveholders. For the second 100 years, they were, with very few exceptions, they were white males who protected the white race. The Supreme Court's declaration that the federal government had no enforcement powers for equal treatment of blacks opened the floodgates to a torrent of racial exploitation and abuse. 200 years ago, the actions of the Supreme Court may not have been authorized, but they dug a deep hole from which Black Americans will always have to fight to escape. Whew. It's not easy reading this stuff, guys. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. It's not easy reading this stuff, but it's necessary. So sometimes you do what's necessary, even if it's not easy. And again, brother Dr. Claude Anderson, genius to put this together for us to find. Okay, genius to put this together. Because I'm gonna keep saying two areas where I believe if we just someone comes in and just educates us, and then we understand, because he used a whole bunch of words, a lot of big stuff. Okay, but at the end of the day, political education and financial education, if we get hip on that, man, game over. Game over. If we get hip on that, and then we obviously not only just learn it, right? Don't just get the knowledge, but then learn how to apply it, right? Whether it be from, because listen, I get it, like go vote, right? Yes, go vote. But in all thy wisdom, get understanding. So understanding why you vote and understanding why you vote for whoever you choose to vote for, that might help too. And that's what I'm not seeing. I'm not saying, okay, let's educate, not just on the reasons to vote, not just on the reason why we fought to be able to vote, but okay, who are these people that we voting for? What do they stand for? Because the only time I see these people, is around June 1st. And then all of a sudden I start seeing signs go up about this person who I ain't never heard of up until this time. And because they got a nice face, or they might be black woman, black man, I don't know, go vote for this person. I'm telling you, the people who stand up and say, okay, we're going to create, provide, whatever for political education. That's a whole industry that is just waiting, especially in the black community, waiting on someone to say, you know what, I'm going to be a champion for political education. See, I'm a champion for financial education. Okay, I might have to step in and do somebody else's job, but you know what I'm saying? If someone champions political, let me tell you something. You will be surprised how big of an audience, how much of a following, and more so than that, the impact that you will make if you champion political education, not biased on either side of whatever, because that's why I went with the certified financial education route, because I didn't want to be biased. I want to say, okay, well, I'm only going to teach you about this product because I want you to buy this product. No, I want to be a fiduciary which says, hey, I don't care what products are out there. Let's look at these products and see what's best for you, or let's educate you on what's out there so you can make the best decision for you. That's the reason why I went with certified financial educator. That's why I'm not a financial planner. That's not why I'm not an insurance agent or none of that stuff. That's the route that I wanted to go, to say, well, I want to be unbiased with the information. Well, I still got a little bias towards some stuff. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you're going to always have some bias. But as much as possible when it comes to educating or teaching or helping people to understand what's in front of them. I'm telling you, there is an industry, and I think there is a hunger that's in the community, that's in the land for someone who will champion, or multiple people. Maybe we need to create, some certified political educators. Because we got certified financial educators, might well get some certified political educators. I'm telling you, I know. See, I be having all these billion-dollar ideas, Lord, and it ain't just for me. Okay. Gary Rising King, Mr. Consistent is in the house, man. Miss Monica, thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show, man. Cashville, Tennessee, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Queen Vivian, thanks so much for joining us. King Carlton is in the house, man. What's up with you? Queen Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us here, man. King Antoine Lowry is in the house, man, out there doing his thing out in South Carolina. Man, Mr. Sedley, thanks so much for joining us. Voting alone hasn't changed anything substantial for our benefit. Absolutely, man. King Tom says exactly. Good morning to you, Queen Destiny is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, I found some very fantastic. That was our political piece, by the way. Dr. Claude Anderson, kudos to him. We're going to keep going through that book. I mean, like I said, it ain't easy, but it's necessary. Queen Tiffany Kiffany is in the house out of Detroit. Bad boys for life. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Now, I found some interesting stuff this morning. I was like, man, we're going to go through all of this. We're going to try. I mean, we ain't going to get through it all, but we'll go through some news that you can use, as we search for clues in the news. But I did find some interesting headlines, and I found one article I wanted to kind of go through because I've talked about this quite frankly, often enough. It's worth repeating because, sometimes you just like to feel good when you let people know that this is what's going on with the news, where we at? The news that you can use. All right. So this over at CNN again. Understand what CNN is. It is a white liberal media outlet that many people are just going to forego. But if you come here, I don't come to CNN. I go to CNN Money. Okay, CNN is great. Okay, but I go to CNN Money. That's where, whenever I'm pulling up, I'm loading it. Now, the reasons why I do that because I think it's very user-friendly, nice and big, easy to see. But on CNN Money is where they be talking about money and the power. And look at this. Very first thing I saw, I did not see American unemployment. That's not the first thing I saw. First thing I saw was this. Google will give every employee $1,000 to work from home. And I said to myself, ooh, this is interesting. Because I don't know how many employees Google got. We can find it out very easily. But if all of their employees are going to be working from home, then whatever technology is going to be needed for them to work from home is going to be get a buff. Because they trying to get everybody to work from home. I said, oh, Lord. I said, well, they're going to be probably using some Zoom to do some virtual meetings. And they're probably going to use some Citrix or something like that to be able to have the capacity. You're going to have to buy all of those chips that they put into the laptops for them to be able to have, coded access to their networks and stuff like that. Man, you're talking about a whole, but as a matter of fact, let's find out how many employees Google got. I mean, because that is absolutely gangbuster. I said, what is that? Because I'll be, as I told you, I don't be reading this. I don't be reading the goddamn on news. I'll be like, what? How can I make some money off this news? That's what I'll be at. And Google got, let's see how many employees Google got. They got 119,000 employees. That's a lot of people be working from home. I'm just saying. So then I went from that. I said, what? Look right below it. 5G. Now, think about this for as well, and because some people have their own ideas on 5G, but here's the deal. If we're going to be having all these people working from home and all these people on these networks, you're going to need faster networks. Therein comes in the introduction of 5G into whatever they got to do to make it work faster, whatever. Right. So for those that have these theories about what 5G is, what it does, all this stuff and the negative impacts of it, just know that, in order to facilitate this work from home, time frame where now it's not just Google. It's more companies that said work from home. Now let's talk about this for a second. I just really want us to think about this for a second. What are the impacts of having everybody work from home? What are the impacts? I want you to think about some of these impacts. There are some major impacts that I don't think we really might be thinking about when it comes from working from home. Here's the things that happen. So obviously, there's going to be a boost in some place, but there's going to be a reduction other place. For every action, there's a reaction. So let's talk about some of the boosts, okay? And then we'll talk about some of the reduction. So in the comments below, as you think about more and more people working from home, what are some things that are going to get a boost? And I talked about some of it already, but you might have some ideas. I called and said, man, one of their recruiters hit him up yesterday on LinkedIn. What are some things, some areas, some places that you can expect to get a boost because of more people working from home? Now, we just saw shelter in place. We just even saw some companies got a boost from working from home. But let's talk about some boosts. What's going to get some boost? Well, there's going to be more online shopping, right? Obviously, when people are going to be home, they ain't going to get out of their pajamas. They're going to want to eat. There could probably be more Uber Eats, more Instacart for groceries, more don't leave my house, bring that stuff to me. And why is that? Because now you're going to have less people driving, which means they get to keep more of their income because they ain't got to go drive 2 hours to go to work, and they ain't got to go put the gas in the car. So they can afford to be able to have stuff come to them. You see what I'm saying? That's something. I mean, let's just think about this for a second. Look at this. High-speed internet companies, Verizon, Charter, Comcast, AT&T will go up because people need faster, more reliable internet, right? Computer companies, Apple, Microsoft, Verizon pays dividends as well as AT&T. Energy companies, right? Boost in food delivery. A boost in spending. But spending where? That's what's important. Spending where? Right? Food delivery. Now, listen, we can pinpoint and identify some places that's going to get a boost. And if so, then we can also say, well, hey, let me say, Black people, dear Black folk, if you are going to do a restaurant, make sure you can do some food delivery. Okay? I mean, I don't necessarily think we need another restaurant, but if you can, or better yet, that people. How about you create the food delivery business? That might make sense. We know there's money there. I'm just saying. Spending online, right? Definitely food delivery and convenience company, right? In-home gyms, right? So now you can say, okay, well, I got these programs and people ain't necessarily got to go to the gym, although they might want to go to the gym. I can continue to do what we've been doing by having virtual experiences and getting paid for it. Matter of fact, I believe Facebook had, I don't know if they tried it or they were creating it, right? Where, these, I guess, what do they call them? People that are like super important or whatever, they got a whole bunch of followers or whatever. And not even that. These small businesses, they can create these spaces where, they can actually get paid to do their stuff online. Okay? Online social activity, more electric devices in order to connect with others. This is not rocket science. This stuff is easy. More shopping from home is simply because companies will be saving more money by not having you in a building. Now, there's a flip side to this. There's a flip side to more people, right, working from home. So where will we see reduction at? Where will we see reduction at? Well, one place that we'll see a reduction, or one place that this is going to contribute, we're going to actually see more of our elders losing their jobs. That's what we're going to see. Because if we're going to move more into working from home, more into the use of technology, that means that there's going to be less need for as many people that you employ. Right? You're not going to have the companies are not going to have to, their companies can begin to downsize as it relates to their facilities. Right? And they're going to start to also cut back on their high, high on their high salaries that they're paying out. Why pay somebody more when you can pay 3 people less? Gasoline. Now, this is interesting. That's debatable with gasoline, because we may see that many people aren't driving as much, but gas is really, or oil and gas is really predicated on the big gas, which would be freight, big gas being airplanes, big gas being cruises and stuff like that. So that's kind of dicey. I don't know if that's quite as clear as some others. Car maintenance, yeah, that's going to be a decline. Commercial real estate is going to be a decline. Now, this would be interesting. If commercial real estate goes into a decline, prices are reduced, then that opens up the door for people who got money to go in with things that would be vital for commercial real estate, i.e. some of these small businesses that's been looking for places that they can't afford. Good stuff. He said more folks need to listen to you. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We free financial education, man. People can come any point in time. We do this every day, right? We just talk about this stuff. And we just think. I had a lady yesterday, right, benefits like healthcare may get cut. That would be hard to swing. That's a hard swing. I don't know about that. That's a hard swing. Now, we may use our benefits less. You know what I mean? But for them to cut benefits, they'll be more likely to cut the people who's going to use the benefits than to cut the benefits, because it's going to be hard to pass that, to get that pass that by people. You know what I'm saying? Wait a second, why are my benefits being cut? Hey, I'm not any healthier now than I was 3 months ago. How's that? And I don't know about that one. That's a hard swing. That's gonna take some balls to do that, because we're gonna have another riot, another protest over them damn benefits now. Kids and stuff like that, right? Janitorial services, commercial real estate, less physical, manual labor intensive jobs, blue collar jobs. What are you saying? Because there'd be less construct? I don't know about that. That's worth a discussion. Less manual labor intensive job. What are you thinking about when you say manual labor intensive job? Are we thinking construction is going to decline? And that's even tough to say. I don't think this construction. I mean, because let's just say commercial real estate goes down, and let's just say, now we have all these properties that are dilapidated. They'll destroy those properties and rebuild stuff that's modern, that's necessary for today. So I think construction will still be fine. Health cost increase is cutting the people using the benefits. Okay, gotcha. Less money to public transit. Yeah, less money for public transit. That could be a thing. So we can see this stuff. And we can see we can project or forecast. Here's probably some of the ramifications, good and bad, for more people working from home. Now, more people want to work from home, but we don't necessarily start thinking about the good and the bad, the pros and the cons for such a move. All right, construction is on the rise in Charleston. A lot of businesses like Volvo, Mercedes-Benz, Boeing have moved into Charleston. Yeah, I mean, construction. I don't think that. I mean, because we may have. It's just a switch. It'll be a shift, not necessarily a stoppage. All right, here's another thing that happened. Look at this. Gap posts a record $932 million loss. Gap. Woo! Yikes. Right? I thought that was interesting. And none of this other stuff is interesting to you. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah. This is the article I want to get to. As I said, and as we've talked about, right? There are more millionaires that are made during recession. And not just more millionaires being made, but the rich get richer. Now, when I talk to socialists, they try to look at it and say, oh, the rich folk rich folk lost money too. And they just don't come to an article like this where they say, well, no, that's not true. They got richer. I.e. Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, right? Total wealth of billionaires now stands at 3.5 trillion, up 19% from the low point near the beginning of the pandemic. The report said Amazon boss Jeff Bezos alone is worth $36.2 million more than he was on March 18th, right? Since that day, nearly 43 million Americans have filed this unemployment, right? So a lot of people filing unemployment, and this is leading to what they consider to be wealth inequality. But what I'm saying is it may be unequal just because you might look at the disparity between all the people who don't have money versus the few people who do have money. But you know why the few people who do have money, as we learned in Richest Man in Babylon? Because they know how to get money. And ask yourself, I mean, is it fair to punish people who know how to get wealth? Because so many people don't know how to get wealth. When the information, and I'm not going to say it's fair, but as a matter of fact, let me ask this in the comments below before I even go there. Because I know who I'm talking to. How many of you that are here representing here right now, how many of you are actually in a better position financially from March to now, 3 months? Your finances are actually looking better. You actually have made more money during, just like these billionaires. You didn't make $1 billion, but you actually faring fairly well during this time. The same way that these billionaires. The only difference is that they got more zeros at the end of their bank account versus you. But if you have learned very similar things that they've learned, if you copied very similar ways that they've copied, if you followed us and actually have participated in what we've been talking about, you should actually be better off. Now, your money shouldn't be looking as funny as it was before. If you've been actually implementing some of the things that we have talked about, especially if you join the Black Billionaires Club. Look at this. Monica says, yes, she saved money on lunches, right? And public transit, right? I'm telling you, when you work from home, you don't spend as much money, right? Making more money and saving more money. Tyler Freeman said, I'm definitely in a better position financially now than I was 3 months ago. Now, we don't have the pandemic. We now got protests. Look at the I am mostly because of curbed spending. I stopped spending as much, right? Mr. Thing, me, people spend more at home after March than they did in January. Think about that. So in essence, right, I am in a better position now financially than I was 3 months ago. Look at that. Look at that. I'm in a better financial situation because I saved more money, I invested more money, I have a better understanding about money. Look at that. Go figure. So in essence, on a smaller scale, many of us have simply done what billionaires do. And that's simply get richer during hard times and starting to understand this stuff. And then some of it obviously comes down to our habits and things like that as well. Look at that. Big tech has been thriving. Despite the turmoil on the streets, the NASDAQ is on the cusp of hitting record highs, an astonishing feat that underscores how quickly Wall Street has rebounded. Money still is moving and being made. Facebook swiftly recovered to record highs, right? We're on Facebook right now. How many guys use some of this platform? You are part owners in the platform that we're using right now. Matter of fact, that many of us wake up to in the morning and use. Record highs. Are you participating in their profit? Okay. Now, sad about unemployment, we get that, but there's a shift that's going on, and those who know and actually apply what they know are actually putting themselves. Listen to what I said, putting yourself, not waiting on the government to try to do it. Definitely not waiting on welfare to do it. Putting yourself in a better financial position. Wouldn't you say that is personal responsibility? Wouldn't you say for each and every person that chooses to learn what they don't know about money, they could put themselves in a better financial position? And not to say that welfare and all that stuff isn't needed or isn't helpful, because we all fall on hard times. There is a space for charity, but not charity for life. I'm just saying. Oh, I want to say something else. So anyway, I thought that I was like, oh, look at this. Look at this. I also want to take a look, obviously, at the market happened yesterday. Not going to go through too much of this. We'll cover this. We'll look and see what happens today. But look at this. Delta Airlines up 13% yesterday. How many guys got a piece of Delta Airlines? Very similar to the cruise industry. People going to start flying again. All over the country, all over the world, going from place to place. And Delta just happens to be one of the largest. And if you happen to be in this state, Georgia, and Georgia, it's the representation of Delta. It's the home of Delta. I mean, let's be real. Did we not think that people were going to go back to actually flying and traveling? Is that not an important part of life, of society? Did we really think that some of those companies may have gone out of business. I mean, some of them are really struggling. I mean, some of them just have never managed their business as well. That's just what it is. But did we really think people are going to stop traveling to go see their loved ones, to take vacations, to go work, or anything like that? Probably not. So it's not very difficult to see that, oh, this is low right now, and this is probably something that'll be more valuable later. Let me get it, sit on it a little bit, wait, and participate in this 13% jump. Norwegian Cruise Lines. I'm just saying. Let me tell y'all something, okay? Let me just be honest with you, okay? Let me just look real quick, because I was just going to be honest with you. Because I did Thomas. Thomas remembers. Thomas was here. I don't know who else was here. So when I went back in early March, or March, Thomas, I started doing these free presentations in the evening, trying to help as many black folk as I could. Say, listen, if you just listen to what I'm saying. We did a presentation on the cruise industry, did we not? Did we not cover Carnival and Norwegian Cruise Line and Royal Caribbean? Did we not? Did we not? Now, some people listened, some people didn't. So Carnival Cruise Lines, right? Since that time, okay, I myself invested in, not Carnival, Norwegian. Would you believe I'm up 57% in my position in Norwegian Cruise Line? Now, at the time, right? At the time, it seemed like it was more appealing to go with Carnival because Carnival pays a dividend, and that works too. But I looked at it, I said, wait a second, because I wanted to go for some growth. I was like, let me get a little frisky, and let me go with what's not so obvious, which was Norwegian, which is the third largest cruise company in the world. I'm up 57%. 57% in 3 months. So is that not the same opportunity that whoever it is that paid attention to that, either watched the live or watched the replay, did they not have the same opportunity? Did they not? Yes, they did. Did everyone choose? Well, who knows what they chose? Who knows what anybody else chose? Because we all make our own choice. I presented it. Who knows who took advantage of it? I just flew Delta in Atlanta and drove to Augusta. That's where people are flying. You remember that, don't you, Destiny? Right, I'm in a better position. I was actually able to buy some stocks that was low during the pandemic, and also real estate is still moving. I work on my one. You worked on one of your biggest deals now. Look at that. Yes, we did, and I listened. She said, I'm smiling to the bank right now, brother. I don't know about everybody else did. I'm pretty happy about that. So at any rate, oh, it's 8:40. Okay, remember one last thing. Anyway, yeah, we'll. Now I am going to make a look at the 62. We're going to make a stronger commitment to do more of this Welcome to Wall Street on our Wednesday editions. There's just so much to cover in our investing. Next week we'll cover our investment club guys. It's in the BBC, and then I'll get back to regularly doing our Wednesday night, investing education things for the Black Billionaires Club. Real quick, Bitcoin, for those that's interested in it, I do teach both stocks and Bitcoin. I just haven't really focused on Bitcoin a lot lately, but I do want to start bringing this back to people's attention as digital currency as we look at the evolution of society. Cryptocurrencies in the market right now is 5,547 cryptocurrencies total in the market. You can buy and exchange or trade different marketplaces, 22,000 of them available to actually buy and sell cryptocurrency. The market cap for much money, the money that's in cryptocurrency right now that's flowing is over $275 billion. There were over $90 billion that was transacted or traded in the last 24 hours, and Bitcoin dominates the cryptocurrency market by 65%. It makes up about 65% of the entire market that you have over 5,500, right, other coins or other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is up to $9,700 per coin. It was up 1% over the past 24 hours. There's $178 billion, $100,000 billion in Bitcoin, right? And as you just take the amount that's circulating, 18 million coins versus the price, that's how you get to $178 billion. That's in that's in that market alone. The next biggest cryptocurrency is at 27 million. Man, that represents almost what, a 5, 6, 7x difference. Bitcoin is 7 times larger than Ethereum. So I don't know. My philosophy is, and I know people trade and all that stuff. Hey, my philosophy is, if I go into this arena, oh, that's not showing nothing. I'm sorry. If I go into this arena, the very first thing I'm doing, I'm gonna get the big dog. That's how I operate. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna start with getting the big dog before I start trying to figure out all the other stuff with over 5,500 other coins. I'm at least gonna get the big dog, at the very least. Okay. Said I took action about M stocks in March after watching your show one morning. I'm up at least 30% now. I wish I could have bought more. Hey man, as it grows, we keep growing, and as we get more discretionary income, we start finding new opportunities, and we just it doesn't have to stop. And here's a cool thing about where we are now is because we have the ability to actually buy fractional shares where we didn't before. And we have the ability to buy commission free, where we don't have to pay an additional $5 to $7 every time we want to buy something or sell something. We are at a historic time for people to participate in the profits of these wonderful, great companies that bring value to the communities in which they live. And you can start, and you can easily start with focusing on the stuff that you already support with your dollars anyway. Now, I mean that all those you need to invest in. I'm just saying you can start by, let me just look at let me just look at where I already spent. Now, I am going to do this, because I know a lot of y'all ask, well, what are you invested in and all that stuff? And this is not for the public people that ain't joined the club. But I will say, when I reach my goal, which is $10,000 in this Cash App account, and I'm probably going to reach it pretty briskly. But when I do, I'm going to open up my portfolio to the members. And I'm going to explain to you why I chose everything that I chose. And I think I got 20 or maybe 21 now, different stocks in my portfolio. And I'm going to explain why I chose them. Because as I said, I believe you should know the story. You should know why you chose it. In all thy wisdom, get understanding, which is the why. Why did you get it? Not just because it was cheap. Okay. 844, the richest man in Babylon. Hopefully that helped. The richest man in Babylon, we're going through the 7 cures for a lean purse, the 7 cures for a broke bank account, the 7 cures to help you fix the money problem. And we are now into cure number 4, as we're listening to Arcad, who is the richest man in Babylon. He was summoned by the king or the president of the time to come and explain why is it that you're so rich and all the rest of these citizens are poor. Can you help them to build wealth so we can have the wealthiest city in the world? Say, oh, no problem. I mean, if that's what you want me to do, sir, kind sir, I will share with them. So they're in the temple of learning. He brings 100 men from the city into this temple to teach them, right, what they don't know about money, to teach them, for them to learn how to not only earn, but to manage and to multiply. Okay? So he shared with them the first lesson, which was, live on less than you earn. Live on, budget your life, discipline yourself to pay yourself first, 10% of everything that comes into your hand. Now, I know we've been taught pay the church 10% first. But no, there is a God that's in you, supposedly. And pay yourself first, 10%. Okay? The church is a business, right? There's a God that's in you. Pay yourself first. Now, if you want to go pay the church 10% after that, okay, that means you're going to be living off 80% of your income. So he said, man, first you got to discipline yourself. Take self-discipline, right? Take self-discipline. Then he said, well, then it's going to take self-control, because the step number 2 is for you and I, right? If we want to build wealth, if we want to leave a inheritance to our children, we want to get rich and build wealth, we're going to have to practice self-control and budget or control our expenses. If you control yourself, you can control your expenses. He's simply saying, man, if it doesn't fit within that 90% that you've disciplined yourself to do, then you must have quit. Don't spend on it. Don't get it. You can't afford it. Not right now. Okay? Third cure that the richest man in Babylon shared was, hey, now I want you to learn how to multiply your money. You got money that's just growing over here, your savings account or whatever the case may be, it's starting to kind of bulge over. You want to put your money to work for you. And you're going to do that by making wise investments or becoming a lender instead of a borrower. Now that you got a little money, become a lender instead of a borrower. Fourth cure that we're on now is going to be part 2, is you wanted to protect your wealth. Right? Rule number 1, don't lose money. Guard your money from loss. Guard your money from loss. Now, here's what he says here. We're going to catch up here. I think we're here. He says, the first sound principle of investment is the security of your principal. The first sound principle of investing is to protect your capital. Don't lose money. Is it wise to be intrigued by larger earnings when the principal may be lost? And this is the psychological piece that many of us have a hard time with, because we want to get money. We want to get rich fast. We want to get rich quick. So as soon as something appears that it could actually bring us, it puts us a little bit further faster, that's what we go for. It says, don't be intrigued by larger earnings when your principal may be lost. He says, I say not. He said, the penalty of risk is probable loss. The penalty of higher risk is probable loss of your capital. Study carefully. Everybody put in console, study carefully. Study carefully before you part ways with your money. Each assurance that it may be safely reclaimed. Be not misled by your own romantic desires to make wealth rapidly. Be not misled by your own romantic desires to get rich quick. He said, man, you will be misled by your own whimsical, romantic desires that's in your heart. That, man, I want to be rich. I can't wait to be rich. Patience is a virtue. The tortoise beats the hare every time. Be not misled by yourself. Before you loan it to any man, assure to yourself of his ability to repay and his reputation for doing so, that you may not unwillingly be making him a present of thy hard-earned treasure. So it said, now that you're becoming a lender, you're going to actually think like a bank. You're going to make sure that whoever it is you give your money to, that they have the ability to repay and they have a reputation for doing so. Because if not, your loan is going to turn into a gift. Your loan is going to turn into a gift of your hard-earned money. Before you entrust it as an investment in any field, acquaint yourself with the dangers that it may be set. That may be set. So they say, hey, not only are we talking about the person that you give your money to, now we're talking about the field in which you are putting your money into, i.e. the industries or the sectors that we've been talking about on the Money and Power Show. He said, man, my own first investment was a tragedy to me at the time. The guarded savings of a year. It took a year. I saved up for a year. I entrusted my money to a brickmaker named Asmir, who was traveling over the far seas, and until he agreed to buy for me the rare jewels of the Phoenicians. These would be sold upon his return, and we would divide the profits. The Phoenicians, though, they were scoundrels. They were thieves, and sold him bits of glass. My treasure was lost. Can you imagine? You saved up for a whole year. And you say, man, now's the time for me to become a lender. You put your money out with someone in an area that they are not proficient in, and now you lose your entire year of savings. We call that stupid tax. Everybody put in console stupid tax. That's the tax you pay for being stupid. We all have paid it. Our fair share of stupid tax. Today, my training would show me at once the folly of entrusting a brickmaker to buy jewels. Therefore, do I advise from the wisdom of my experience. Be not too confident in your own wisdom. Don't be too confident in your own wisdom. Don't be too confident in your own wisdom in entrusting your treasures to the possible pitfalls of investments. Better by far to consult the wisdom of those experienced in handling money for profit. This is what we must begin to do as a community. Be not too confident in our own wisdom. And most of us, if we'll be honest, we're not very wise when it comes to handling money for profit. But better by far to consult the wisdom of those experienced in handling money for profit. Such advice is freely given for the asking, and may readily possess a value equal in gold to the sum thou consider investing. In truth, such is its actual value if it saves you from loss. This then is the fourth cure for a lean purse. This then is the fourth cure for a hole in your wallet. This then is the fourth cure to help you fix the money problem. And it is of great importance. If it prevents your purse or your bank account from being emptied once it has become well filled. It's of great importance, even if it don't make you no money. This lesson, if it saves you money, it's a win. Guard your treasures from loss by investing only where your principal is safe. Guard your treasures from loss by investing only where your principal is safe, where it may be reclaimed if desirable, that you got access to it, and where you will not fail to collect a fair rental or interest. Consult with wise men. Now, for those in the BBC, I don't know if y'all consider me wise or not, whatever, but you get a free consultation, a free 30-minute consultation every month if you so choose. Consult with wise men. Secure the advice of those experienced in the profitable handling of money. Let their wisdom protect your treasure from unsafe investments. Let their wisdom protect your money. There is now the book, Bible says it like this. There is safety in wise counsel. Everybody put that in the comments below. There is safety in wise counsel. Let the counsel of wise men and or women that have proven that they are good in the profitable handling of money. Let their wisdom protect your money. Woo! There is safety in wise counsel. So we got your self-discipline. We have your self-control. We have your learning how to multiply. And then we have the protection of your wealth. There's safety in wise counsel. Y'all, if y'all don't know already, do you see why this book, Richest Man in Babylon, which I still got 7 copies left, why this book helped me go from being a financial zero to a financial hero? It's not that I just read the book. It's that I did what it told me to do. And I believe the same thing can happen for you. It's the same book, same 100-year-old book, same book that I continue to encourage people to get, not just for yourself, by the way. I think it's a good book to read with your kids. You know, because see, listen, financial education can absolutely start at home, even if you don't have it, because you have access to it. You can say, you know what, Johnny, I don't know everything there is to know about money, but how about we learn together? That's something that you could do. You say, hey, I don't know all this stuff, but let's learn together. And while I'm learning, you learn it. That way we learn it. We're now in the temple of learning about money. That's something that you could do. Instead of waiting on some system or some institution to implement something that may not ever happen. Why wait? Why wait? Well, you can simply go get a book and y'all can teach yourselves. And then y'all can bring in somebody that's got some wise counsel to help y'all in the parts that y'all are unsure about. You don't have to wait to begin. You don't have to wait to make a decision to improve your financial literacy. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait, right, to bring a financial education to your kids. You don't have to wait. You can choose to wait, but you don't have to. In the comments below, I'd like for you to share something that you learned today. Your pineapple moments. Y'all know how we do. You learned something today, something that, you know, changed the way that you think, help to reiterate some things that you already know. Go ahead and put that in the comments below. I simply ask you to answer this question. Was this worth your time and why? Was this worth your time and why? I'll go ahead and catch up on these comments, man. I paid my fair share of stupid tax. I paid a lot of stupid tax, man. That's right, man. But here's the cool thing, man. We want to do our best to make sure that our kids do not have to pay the same stupid tax that we pay. Right? Lean not on your own. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, another one. Lean not on your own understanding. Oh, I like. Oh, that one too, Carl. You always come with the good verses. That's right. Yeah, me as well. All right. Stupid tax. Guard your treasure from loss, man. That's right, man. Consult with wise men and women. Safety and wise counsel. There's safety and wise counsel. There's safety and wise counsel. There's safety and wise counsel. Yes, a 30-minute consult is available. It's a part of your membership. All you got to do is set the appointment. Just come on over to ERGJ Enterprise. For those that's in the BBC, I'm sorry, because you might have people that ain't joined yet. Those in the BBC, just come on to ERGJ Enterprise, click the book button, and we schedule it. We talk, whatever it is you want to talk about. All right, it was worth my time because it shows that every day I learn something new about money and I can share with my children. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else, something that you learned today? Man, oh man, it is Financial Friday. I'm super excited, man. The weekends are made to get rich. I'm super excited to go out here and make it happen, Captain. Make it happen, Captain. Hey, man, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Had a lot of information to cover. Hopefully you took something from it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator. And I just want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build. Let's keep building as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. It's time to get up, to get out, and go get something. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We'll see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.